Hey, this is Matt once again. We're about to videos of the paid request, this time from Toby. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. It'll be for pretty much any type of video. And this is for the 2012 film Sinister, which it seemed like based on the message, Toby was a fan of the movie. If you're a fan of the film, that's cool. I've never liked this film. I did not like this film when it came out. I did not like this film. Watch it again. I like the director Scott Derrickson. I do. Deliver Us from Evil, I think, is underrated. It's one of my favorite films Eric Bana was in. I like the idea of this possession angle, but it's with the New York cop, that whole backdrop. I forget if it was New York, but it was or was it Chicago? New York, Chicago? I think it was New York. And with the whole cop angle backdrop, it felt refreshing. And I like the guy who played the priest. There's a lot of elements of that I enjoyed, and thought was underrated. The Black Phone I did enjoy, which funny enough has Ethan Hawke, just like Ethan Hawke is in this movie. I liked the first Doctor Strange movie, which Scott Derrickson did. I did not mind the exorcism of Emily Rose, because at least, okay, they did a different angle as a court case and a trial, so it made it feel at least a bit more different, unique compared to so many other possession exorcism movies. Even his segment in the last VHS movie, I thought was rather good actually. One of the best entries of that whole franchise. VHS, was it 85? Because I'm bad with names, I'm bad with titles, so. But I actually didn't mind that, and again, that was one of the better entries in it. So I like Scott Derrickson. This is probably my least favorite film he's done. If I would say yes, based on the list, this is the one I don't like. Which is ironic, because it's one of his more popular ones. It got a sequel. I remember at the time, oh my god, it's so scary. It is so frightening. I never thought it was frightening. Watch it again, I never thought it was frightening. It's annoying. Because, okay, the idea of the film, Ethan Hawke is his true crime writer. He had written this book called Kentucky Blood. Very successful, but his other novels afterward didn't do well. He got a wife, he's got a daughter, he's got a son. He's in need of desperate for another hit. So he hears about this family getting killed where they were hung. And he moves his family into the house. But he doesn't tell the family that people died at this place, because he wants to live at the place. He wants to do a biography on the killings, and he doesn't want to, of course, tell his family because he don't want to frighten them. And the whole point is Ethan Hawke's character is a very selfish individual that wants to push what he's doing for his own end game, which Sally ends up biting him and his family on the ass because of his selfish nature. So not only does he get his, in a way, comeuppance, but Sally, his family, gets caught in the crossfire. I understand that's the whole point of it. I understand that's the whole reason for it. I don't care. Ethan Hawke's character still sucks molasses. It sucks the dirt between my toes and the dirt between my cheeks. Both these cheeks and the other cheeks. Ethan Hawke's character sucks, and he's supposed to suck, but he still doesn't change the fact he sucks. Suck whatever you want to suck. Sucking is sucking. And he's such an unlikable character that I can't root for him because I just keep befuddled by his stupidity. Especially as a true crime writer. I did his obsession is clouding his judgment. Well, then take his head in the clouds like a balloon, let it get popped, and leave everybody else alone. And I like Ethan Hawke, but this is one of his lesser acting performances that I cared about. Not just because of the writing, and you don't give a crap about the character. Seemed on purpose, but it's just a lot of his performance is very, what's the word I'm thinking of? over the top, and I'll think of a better word as I go along, but just at times just very forced. I don't know how else to put it. I'll think of a better word later. So while he's there, he finds his footage in the attic. It's a box with a projector, the Super 8 footage, and throughout it, it's like four or five families that have been killed. One, the family was hung, and one, the family was tied up in a car, and the car got burnt up. One, the family was tied, and they were pulled into the pool. One, they were sleeping, drugged, and someone came up with a knife and slit their throats. So you had the hun, the slitting of throats, the pool, the car. So I think it was about 4 families. Now, he's looked into this. This deputy, who's a big fan of his writing, he tries to help. But he's kind of a useless character because all the information he finds, Ethan Hawke can find. This is 2012. The internet exists. Like, all this stuff the deputy is finding, Ethan Hawke could find as well. So you don't really need the deputy character. It's not someone who's going to be important to the plot later on. It's not someone who's part of the body count. He's there just because. Like, I really don't... Well, I mean, it will help him find the info, but at the same time, like, he's not an interesting character. He's not really the... I don't know, it's like they try to make him funny because he's such a big fan of this guy. Maybe for comedic relief. I don't know. If so, it didn't really work. Now, I will admit, some of the Super 8 footage does have a creepy demeanor to it. Granted, if you've seen horror films, you've seen all this before. So it's not like, oh my god, I've never seen... Like, we've seen it all before. Movies where people got hung or people get their throats slit. But I will admit, like, the Super 8 nature does create a creepier feeling. I think it's more about the Super 8 format, and I'm a sucker for that. Again, whether it be Super 8 or 16mm or even 35mm. I'm a sucker for that way that looks. So that's in a weird way appealing to me with the way it looks. And because you don't hear the sound, you just see the images. Again, there is a bit of an atmosphere to that, at least to me. Again, it's not like the image is so horrifying. I've never seen... No, we've seen it plenty of times before, but the Super 8 format does create a bit of dread in the proceedings. But that's really the first hour of the movie. It's just him finding this footage. He looks at one. Tells his family, looks at another footage. Tells his family, looks at another footage. That, or he hears something, he wanders around the house, and he never turns a light on. I know there's some dialogue, that there's some power fluctuations going on, but at the same time, like maybe his computer wasn't plugged in, but doesn't seem like the power's out. Like, have him try a light switch and it doesn't work. You think his wife would be complaining, well, how come the powers go out all the time? Even if you're sleeping, I'm going to know that the power's out because you just hear, maybe it's just me, but if a power goes out, I just tell. Because either you don't hear the fridge running, or you just tell something's off. Bit too quick. Maybe that's just me. And I'm the only one that notices that stuff. Or, invest in a fucking flashlight. If it's happened this much damn time, invest in a flashlight. Or a lantern. Again, for how often it happens, buy a lantern. Just saying. And the jump scares, there's a lot of jump scares. Jump scares are not scary to me. They're cheap. Yes, there's once in a while one very effective. The Exorcist 3 one. If you've seen that movie, you know which one I'm talking about. That's very effective. For how long, how simple but drawn out it is. But at the end of the day, jump scares just come off as more cheap and more like... And you roll your eyes and you just really don't garner much respect. At least to me. Man, whoop-de-fucking-do. Or the stairs come off as silly. His kid comes out of a box with his back arched. Go. I'm like, trying to do Spiral Wall from Exorcist. Is he Bray Wyatt? Rest in peace, Bray Wyatt. But it's like, I don't care. I'm not scared by your kid going. I'm like, he saw the new Star Wars. He's having an itchy fit. That's how I looked when I saw the last Star Wars movie. I don't see how that's scary. Or how sometimes they'll throw these sound effects that sound like generic video game jump scare. Like this one that could have been effective with the footage. I forget which was this, maybe another family, but it was like the point of view of a lawnmower. And you wonder where it's going, it's dark out. And all of a sudden a face appears as if the lawnmower is going to go over the person's face. Okay, that's actually, to me, kind of creepy. But then it throws this big sound effect, like, Markiplier. If not, he's a YouTuber. There's some people who don't know who he is. He's a big time YouTuber, and he, not so much nowadays. He's in the middle of making a film, actually, or editing it. But he would play these games, and the jump scare would be this cheap. You walk in, all of a sudden this face appears, and it'd be the sound effect. Like, to be as loud as you can. So if you have your headphones up, you'll... That's what it sounded like. A generic video game jump scare sound effect. Unless that's where it came from this. I don't know. Which came first, the chicken or the egg? And then Ethan always starts seeing this figure, and the fact that they call him Mr. Buddy is very silly. Mr. Buddy Woody Choo Choo Train. I mean, Mr. Buddy, really? It's Mr. Buddy. He does the Woody. He's Mr. Buddy. I'm like, Mr. Buddy, really? Mr. Buddy. Okay. It sounds stupid when you say it, Mr. Buddy. And the way he looks, I mean, he's dressed up in Slender Man's suit. He got a bit of a weird face mask thing. His hair, I don't know, kind of like he stole the hair from the... It's like kind of like the puppet from Jigsaw, now I think about it. It's either the hair and puppet of Jigsaw, but he's wearing Slender Man's suit. I know he tried to be like the new horror icon. Not sure if that really was successful, because there hasn't been that many Sinister movies since then. I don't know if how many people really remember this film that fondly. I mean, Toby and other people do, but is this a film that was like popular at the time, but nowadays people are like, whatever? That's what it seems like. Maybe just me. That's the thing though, like, I think the Super 8 footage is the only thing legitimately creepy, or at least an ounce of creepiness and mood. But in him going around and going up to an attic and there's a snake, he talks to a dog who's seeing something behind him, but he can't see it. He's looking at something and he's paused at the video footage, but the video footage looks at him. So when he turns, it's going to be back to its position. They feel like the type of scares I've seen in a dozen other films. So they don't seem that original or that creative. At least to me, they don't seem that creative in terms of scares, in terms of ingenuity. I don't care about the characters either. The family's very underdeveloped. The girl knows how to draw. The kid has night terrors. Why does he have night terrors? I don't know. The wife, she just pissed when she found out what was going on. The deputy, he's a fan. Vincent D'Onofrio, I forgot Vincent D'Onofrio was in this. He Skypes his performance in. That's pretty much it. He Skypes it in. Really his whole role is on like this, like you're seeing now. Like the way you see me talk to you is the way Ethan sees Vincent D'Onofrio talking to him. And pretty much him giving exposition about what this symbol means, and it's the eater of children, and it's, you know, each family that's been killed, there's always been a child missing, and the eater of children, and maybe this is a co-initiation, and still Ethan Hawke does not tell his family, doesn't stop, doesn't warn his family, doesn't think like some of the weird shit he's seen, maybe I should stop, maybe I should end it, maybe I should just let it go. But no, I did. He's obsessed with his work, and it ends with him and his family dying because he's an idiot. But all I keep thinking is, okay, he's obsessed, but he's just a moron. He does so many stupid things. Turn on a light. And the jump scares are just cheap. There's a bit where he goes to the attic again, and there's a bunch of kids there. But then literally Mr. Booty literally goes, boo! And then he flies back, and then the projector in the film is dropped down, and that's when he's like, we need to get the hell out. But it's too late. To spoiler, they're back at their place. The deputy calls about something now. You shouldn't have moved. It's like, seems like part of this ritual. He just drugged. His daughter kills him and the family. The daughter goes to the film with Mr. Booty, with all the other kids. Then the movie's over, and then tries another boo scare. It just involves more boring than anything. I think the movie's fucking boring. I don't think the scares are that creative. Don't think Mr. Booty's that creative. I don't think he's that scary. The characters aren't worth a spit. The lead character is on purpose stupid and a selfish prick. I understand it's on purpose. Doesn't mean I have to like it. Hell, I like Reservoir Dogs, and those people are not really you're supposed to like, but the dialogue, the personalities help to that matter. If you don't want to be an unlikable prick to have a personality to you. The jump scares are incessant. Again, the first half is just him watching the Super 8s and nothing much of a story. And the second half is him walking around his house, not getting a lantern, swinging his baseball bat, or sitting with his baseball bat, or sticking it up his ass, or whatever he does off screen. Visit the not feel I like, but he, I would say you phone his performance in, or here he Skyped it in. Anybody could have played this role. You just give an exposition. It's not a gory movie, so you're not looking for that. Ethan Hawke and his family die off screen. You get the idea of what happens. It's a downbeat ending. I'm not usually a fan of those, although I don't really care about the characters in this, so it's hard to be mad when I don't give a shit. So even if it didn't end that way, I still wouldn't like that. I'd go, well, that was a boring affair. So there was Scott Derrickson, I think, like, Delivers from Evil and The Black Phone and Doctor Street. I think just much more interesting movies, much more entertaining movies. I don't really get scared of movies, to be fair, but, its try-hardness of this just felt more mediocre and just not that creative, at least to me. So I never liked this film. I always thought it sucked. That's just me, though. Like I said, I don't hate the director. He would do another film with Ethan Hawke with The Black Phone, and that one I liked a lot more. Because I thought it was a lot more interesting story. I liked the characters more. The third act, there's some jankiness to it, but I still like the film. It's much more intriguing story. I got more involved with the lead character to care about his journey. And same with Delivers from Evil. I gave more of a shit about them. But that's just me. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.